Welcome back to the Nine Dimes Project. So in our last video in this series of getting hired, I'm going to give you the interview cheat code. How to get hired even when you're young. So you've built your proof stack, you know how to negotiate, now you need to close the deal. This is the final piece of the hiring playbook, how to walk into an interview and make them want you. Most people treat interviews like oral exams. They sit there hoping they give the right answers, but that's backwards thinking. An interview isn't a test, it's a conversation where you prove you can solve their problems. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to prepare, what to say, and how to stand out from everyone else. So, we're not financial advisors. This isn't financial advice. But consider using this framework to get where you want to go. All right, let's get into it. Why most people bomb interviews and how to be different. So the number one mistake is talking about yourself instead of their problems. How do you fix their problem? How do you solve their problems? So mistake number one is talking about yourself instead of their problems. When they ask, tell me about yourself, this isn't an invitation to recite your life story. They don't really care about you. They care about what you can do for them. So you can flip it. You're gonna say, so here's how my experience solves your problem. Preparation most people skip is researching the company. What does the company do? What problems are they facing? You research the role. What does success look like in 6 months? You research the interviewer. LinkedIn is free. You can use that. You may have to find out who the interviewer is. Phone call. But yeah, walking in prepared puts you ahead of 90% of the candidates instantly. So the confidence gap is a lie. You don't need 5 years of experience to sound competent. You need 3 things: research, specific examples, and a genuine curiosity. Hiring managers hire potential, not perfection, especially for young people. They know you're young. They're looking for someone who's hungry and coachable. The answers that actually get you hired. And they ask you, tell me about yourself. And you say, right now I'm focused on this specific skill or trade. And I've been doing this specific thing, this specific skill or type of work. But in the past you just say, before that, you had this relevant experience or project. You've worked on this such and such project. And then in the future, you'd say, I'm looking for whatever that role offers because it fits your goals. And that's in under 60 seconds. You're specific and forward looking. And when they ask, why would we hire you? You don't say, I'm a hard worker. So everyone says that. Instead, you say, here's a specific problem I've solved, and you show the proof. Bring your portfolio, have specific project photos in your phone, and your case studies. Physical proof in an interview is a cheat code, and nobody does it unless they're prepared. So when they ask, what's your biggest weakness? Don't say, I work too hard. They'll know that's a fake answer. You can pick a real weakness you're actively working on. You can say, I used to struggle with waking up early, for example. So now I've been going to bed earlier. Honesty plus self-awareness is maturity, and maturity gets you hired. Do you have any questions for me? Is another question they'll ask, usually toward the end. You always say yes. Always. What does success look? You can ask, what does success look like in this role in the first 90 days? You can ask, what's the biggest challenge facing the team right now? You can ask, is there anything about my background that gives you pause or reluctance? It shows confidence. Good questions prove you're thinking about the job and not just a paycheck. The before and after, that seals the deal. Before the interview, practice your answers out loud 3 times in your head, not in your head, out loud. Prepare 2 to 3 stories that show problem solving, reliability, and initiative. Dress 1 level above the job. Trade interview is clean and sharp. An office interview is business casual. Arrive 10 minutes early, not 30 minutes. That's too early. Not 2 minutes because that's cutting it close. 10 minutes. During the interview, match their energy. If they're casual, be casual. If they're formal, be formal. Take a beat before answering tough questions. Silence is better than rambling. Use their name naturally. People like hearing their own name. If you don't know the answer, you can say, I haven't dealt with that problem specifically, but here's how I'd approach it. After the interview, send a thank you email within 2 hours, not a week later. Keep it short. Say thanks for your time. I'm excited about whatever the role or working a specific project that it might be. And then say looking forward to the next steps. 80% of candidates don't send a thank you email. This alone puts you in the top 20%. If you don't get the job, reply, thanks for letting me know. I'd appreciate any feedback on how I can improve. Most won't respond, but some will. That feedback is gold. Every interview is practice for the one that matters. All right, so we have our free wealth building tools, links in the description. Don't forget about those. And what's the hardest interview question you've been asked? Let us know in the comments. And that wraps up our hiring playbook. On Monday, starting a new series and how to build a freelance business from scratch, even if you have zero experience. All right, wealth builders. I'm going to see you Monday, and keep building wealth. Peace.